Well, last night this was packed with tens of thousands of people. This morning, early, it is almost derived of humans. Again, I ask you to glance down on the floor. This is important because none of us like to live in rubbish. And there is literally not a scrap of paper on the ground. Of course, under those circumstances, Greenpeace would be extremely happy. If only our oceans and seas and rivers could be in the same way as the way that this festival is run. Clean, tidy and responsibly. There is not even the smallest piece of paper on the ground. Not a can, not anything. And of course, the waste stations supplied by Mike Church and the family themselves, a local company. I can only imagine there was an army of cleaners last night. And of course, I have not seen anyone smoking. There probably is a smoking station somewhere, but no cigarette butts, no cans, no bottles, no rubbish. Why am I going on about this? Because I am an environmentalist. I believe that things should be run properly. The world and its litter and its rubbish should be recycled. There is no reason why the ocean is full of plastics and debris. There is no reason why the animals and the fishes of the ocean are having to choke to death on what we throw in to the rivers and the seas and the estuaries. The humans need to stand up and be counted. When you see dolphins, turtles dying because of our pollution, what we are doing to the planet. Yet they were there long before we descended on this planet. I videoed this tree last night, and underneath this beautiful tree was thousands upon thousands of people listening to the piano man playing in this tent in front of us. And during the night, as everyone left, the rubbish was collected and off for recycling. After all, Mike Church and his family recycle almost everything that they receive. And still, I am on the lookout for that one piece of litter which has been newly dropped by someone, and I'm finding it a very hard task. I remember in the 70s coming to festivals around the world, and literally it was a sea of debris. Not only people going to the toilet, but just the rubbish that was being thrown, and you were walking through rubbish. Now I'm walking through the Wiltshire countryside outside Malmesbury with the huge oak trees above me. Sweet chestnuts, cherries, and the land underneath it is as good as it was prior to the festival arriving. I think that it's a good idea for anyone listening to this video was simply to write a letter to the organisers of WOMAD, just expressing how they feel about the organisation and the litter. A lovely beech tree. And now I'm going into the main festival area, and again you've got to understand this is early in the morning. And here again last night there was tens of thousands of people. I cannot spot a single piece of rubbish anywhere. Provision of rubbish. Everywhere you see, there is a waste station. But of course the place is completely quiet. This is before 7 o'clock in the morning. And within 4 or 5 hours, again, there will be tens of thousands of people walking this ground. Here I can show you one of the disabled areas. Again, the organisers have made not just an effort, but the organisers have to have their hand shaked and say, well done. This is where the wheelchair and the disabled can watch the festival, the same as the able-bodied people. There is a little bit of water this morning, but I can tell you, after going to many festivals, this does not damp the hearts and the minds of those that have come here. They've come to be as one as the human race, to be together, to listen to music and to consume culture into their hearts. For them, a little bit of rain makes it even more interesting. Other than the organisers, there is not a soul out and about in this area before 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, here we are again, walking down the main street. Waste station after waste station, food store after food store. I say to any festival organisers anywhere on the planet, you need to just come and spend a couple of days at WOMAD as an example of how festivals should be run. After all, WOMAD is not just a local festival. WOMAD is a world festival. And WOMAD is definitely an example to the world. Their catering facilities in the forest behind me that cater for the staff. Another music tent here, and then we come on to the cider bar, which last night was so packed, and yet this morning so clean and so ready. Mike Church and the boys moving around, picking up the bins, ready for the day's festival. And here in this area there are many litter picker-uppers picking up literally the minutest of things that are left. In this area there is at least 20 of them working, and they've probably been working almost the entire night. The dining room just before 7 is full, of course, of those who are helping to run this festival. This last night was full again of people, and as you look down onto the ground and you walk around, not a piece of glass, not a piece of rubbish anywhere. Here the breeze and the wind is going through the flags, going up to one of the main stages. WOMAD 40. It deserves to be 40 years old. It deserves to be allowed to stay running this festival. I am looking for things that I could describe as wrong with this festival. And in my last 3 days, I've got to say that there hasn't been a single reason that I can say for the festival organisers to have made a mistake that's visual to the public, even right down to the roads they put in, Every single thing is thought about. And also the spaces in between the vendors selling and the public walking is quite vast. You have space to move around. You have space to walk and feel free. Now, as I leave WOMAD for the last time this year, I just feel happy to have been here, happy to be a part of this creation for the happiness of the human race. With its cash machines, its shops, its music, its poetry, its cultures, its diverse traditions, even, as I say, the phone charging units. Festival and camping supplies, and its food. And of course, in certain parts of this festival, even at 7 o'clock in the morning, some people just can't sleep. The revellers are still out. And of course, lunch out is Zard's. Incredible. Babies, families, the young and the old, that just decide that sleeping is not for them. If you want to go to a festival anywhere in the world, you need to come to Malmesbury. Malmesbury in Wiltshire, WOMAD Festival. And don't forget that Malmesbury is an ancient borough, a wonderful town to visit. So don't forget that if you want to come to WOMAD, you also need to come to Malmesbury town itself.